Now, welcome to the program. I am Ian Kitani, and our sign language interpreter is Angel Lois. Remember, you can watch this bulletin live on our Facebook and YouTube pages at Lookuptv. We kickstart our bulletin now, and 6 people have been confirmed dead after being involved in a road accident along the Narok-Mulot road in Narok County. A police report says that the fatal accident, which occurred in the Silanga area, saw a Subaru Forester colliding head-on with a Toyota Sienna while trying to overtake. Police say that the Sienna, carrying 6 passengers, was heading towards Mulot, while the Subaru was heading towards Narok. Around 9:30 p.m. Sunday evening, and 6 people were destined for their homes from attending to different things met their death after a Toyota Sienna car they were traveling in was involved in an head-on collision with a Subaru Forester at Silanga, just 4 kilometers to Narok town. According to Narok Central Sub-County Police Commander John Momanyi, among those who died is the driver of the Toyota Sienna, said to be overtaking at the time of the accident.
As a result of the accident, unfortunately, we lost 6 lives, and we had 11 passengers, that is inclusive 2 juveniles who were rushed to various hospitals within Narok County, and the bodies of the 6 deceased were taken to Narok County Referral Mortuary.
The allegation of the Toyota Sienna overspeeding and overtaking were confirmed by Chris Saoli, passenger who was on board the Toyota Sienna.
Gari ilikuwa kwa speed, hiyo gari aina Sienna ilikuwa inafuata lori nyuma. So wakati ilijaribu kuovertake pale kwa beehives, gari nyingine ilikuwa inatoka upande ya Bomet ikaweza kutokezea, na gari nyingine ilikuwa mwendo wa speed. Hii gari ambayo tulikuwa ndani, gari ya Sienna.
Henry Muigai, another survivor, called on the government to rein in on cars overloading as the Sienna had more passengers than the required number.
Hizi gari venye zinabeba excess, kwanza hizi probox, hizi gari dogo dogo ziache kubeba hivyo excess, cause tuseme kama tungekufa sisi wote, ama venye ilianguka tungekufa sisi wote. Tulikuwa watu wengi sana, tulikuwa watu 10 na inafaa kubeba watu 7. Yeah. Police Commander John Momanyi also called on drivers to exercise caution to avoid such incidents.
What I want to advise our drivers is that they need to exercise caution, especially this time when the weather, we are experiencing rain, heavy rains around this place that sometimes affects the visibility, and especially at night. They must exercise a lot of caution when driving.
The bodies of the deceased were taken to the Narok Referral Hospital morgue awaiting post-mortem. Ian Kitani, Lookuptv. Now, the issue of road accidents and road carnages continue to be a key concern, especially during the rainy season, and we hope that not only the Ministry of Transport but also Kenyans, passengers, drivers on the roads can be more cautious in a bid to avert such cases. Let's talk matters health now. The government has given doctors until tomorrow to conclude their discussions and give a way forward to the ongoing strike, insisting that the negotiations they've been having have already achieved 96% of the desired outcome. Speaking at the KCC after a day-long waiting period for the doctors' union officials to sign a return-to-work agreement, Head of Public Service Felix Koski said the government side had agreed to postpone the signing that was slated for today to tomorrow, even as some of the members in the committee felt that the doctors were taking too much time to come to the table.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
The push and pull between doctors and the government continues to take new heights as the two fail once again to agree fully on the doctors' concerns. Talks after talks have been the order of the day, all in attempt to get to the bottom line of the stalemate and have the doctors return to work. However, the talks are still not bearing as much fruits as the issues of interns remains a bone of contention.
We've come a long way. Discussion, you remember, from 21st March, we had a meeting. On 27th March, we had a meeting. And the latest meeting that we had was yesterday, where we had candid discussions, and we had largely agreed on almost all the issues except one. All the issues, in fact, the issues that were concerning the counties were cleared 100%. The issues that concerned national government were all cleared except one, the issue of payment of interns. And we all agreed, and even we initialed the draft document.
After being held in a meeting for hours on Monday, with the hope that they will both come out with a conclusive solution, the standoff is still on, with the government giving the medics 24 hours to conclude their discussions and give a way forward to the ongoing strike, insisting that the negotiations they have been having have already achieved 96% of the desired results.
In negotiations, people cannot get everything they're looking for. And as a government, we've really bent backwards. We've made a lot of concessions. Out of 18 issues, we have got one issue. Surely, under whatever examination, that's an A, if not an A+. It's an A+. It's 96%. We have really overachieved. And I'm really hopeful that tomorrow the union will do the rightful thing, not for the interest of ourselves as government or doctors, but for the interest of all Kenyans.
And once they are done, we were expecting that they will be done by 2. Unfortunately, the meeting seems to be taking long. But as we've all agreed that we will reconvene tomorrow for the final signing, and we're looking forward to the strike being called off.
Speaking at the KICC after a day-long waiting period for the Doctors' Union officials to sign a return-to-work agreement, Head of Public Service Felix Koskei has said the government side had agreed to postpone the signing that was slated for today to tomorrow, even as some of the members in the committee felt the doctors were taking too much time to come to the table.
And therefore, they are still in the meeting, and we have decided that since it is becoming night, we need to give them some more time for them to conclude the discussion with their membership, so that tomorrow, once they are ready, we come here, convene here, sit down, and initial or sign the return to work formula as agreed yesterday.
It is just an issue of time. But even as they do this, we want to commit to them that the issues that we did discuss yesterday were not just words that were spoken, we meant them.
A return to work formula drafted by representatives of both sides is now a subject of discussion by the Doctors' Union, as it is understood that they are taking a vote on whether to call off the strike or suspend it. Sunday night, a meeting at Harambee House at the office of the Head of Public Service went into midnight, with the union and the government ironing out contentious issues in the return to work document. The intern question is a bone of contention, but why? The doctors are opposed to the government's move to slash the interns' remuneration from over 200,000 to 70,000 Kenya shillings, with the government insisting that the money interns are paid is too much. Brian Amuai, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
You see, Brian Amuai has put it very clearly. The biggest issue on the table is the issue surrounding the remuneration of intern doctors, with the government saying they can only pay 70,000 as opposed to the 206,000. Just to, check a little bit of what KMPDU's Secretary General Daji Atela says this particular night. He says, we don't call for strikes at night, and we don't strike for fun. We are only praying for the government to soften their stance, particularly on the issue of doctor interns. That is the bone of contention. And of course, we'll be following up that particular story for you, even as we look forward to whether the doctors will call off their strike or not, as patients continue to bear the brunt of the ongoing doctors' strike. Now, one person lost his life to flash floods, while 17 others were successfully rescued during an operation led by Machakos County Emergency Disaster Management Unit. The rescue operation was a joint effort by emergency teams in the flood-prone regions of Kinanie and Syokimau in Mavoko, Machakos County.
The force of nature continues to unleash fury in different parts of the country, leaving a trail of destruction. Flooded roads, caving in building and death are just what can be used to describe the current state of the weather, with heavy rains continuing to pound different parts of the country. This is the current situation at Kinani Rescue Center at Kinani Dispensary. Following a town's rainfall, residents have been forced to seek temporary refuge as River Athi burst its banks on Saturday night. Now they are at the mercy of county government and humanitarian organizations. The Disaster Management Unit, in partnership with the Kenya Red Cross Organization, conducted rescue operations and managed to save 17 individuals, though one person tragically perished due to flooding.
We have not lost anybody, apart from one person who was very naughty. Alienda ile bridge pale, akatembea, anaulizwa tu unafanya nini? Anatembea, akatembea, kufika huko maji akamzomba, akafanya nini? Akaenda.
Governor Vinya Ndeti, during a visit to the rescue center, pledged additional emergency aid to the victims, urging residents to relocate to safer locations to avoid further disasters.
Just requesting my people, tafadhali, mukiona saa hii mito imeanza kufurika, tafadhali tokeni kwa mito. Kama tuko na wengine wako hapa mto wa Mawe, tumeweka gari zetu standby hapa na tumekubaliana sisi wote hapa kama team, if we see there is a danger, tumeweka magari, hao watu waende wachukuliwe, waletwe hapa, walale hapa, kuna chakula, kuna kila kitu. We do not want to lose our people.
In West Pokot County, the situation is not different. 4 individuals have been admitted at Kapengura Referral Hospital after landslide triggered by heavy rainfall. Residents left counting losses are now calling on both county and national government to work together and find a solution.
Tumeona mara katika hii mtoni imeleta madhara mingi sana na miaka mingi, sio hii peke yake. Kwa hivyo sasa yale mabarabara sote kutoka juu imeharibika, ile apitiki hata magari. Tukiomba county na serikali national aweze asaidie.
Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja has taken charge of relief operations conducted by the Disaster Management Department in flood-affected areas of the city after heavy rainfall. Tragically, one person lost their life and considerable property damage reported, with efforts to locate a missing child in Kibra sub-county still ongoing. The governor underscored his commitment to collaborating closely with relevant authorities and agencies for the safety and security of both individual and property.
Our disaster teams are on standby 24 hours, 7 days a week. They can call our toll-free number 1508 at any time. Also, we are appealing Nairobians to listen to authorities, the sub-county admins, the ward admins, the DCCs and the assistant county commissioners, who are asking them to move to higher ground in those places that are affected. They should be able to heed those calls because it is really for their safety.
The weatherman indicated that the country will experience consistent rainfall starting on April 19th across the nation, calling on Kenyans to prepare adequately. George Kayesi, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Thank you very much, George Kayesi, for that particular story. And on that note, we take a short breather. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.
Yes, karibu customer. Jambo. Nzuri. Utakula nini leo?
Nisaidie ugali na fry nusu.
Nusu fry hapo na ugali? Yes. Haya.
Wewe, nani amekuitisha hii yote?
Hapana, tulia customer.
Hapana, mimi sitaitisha hii yote.
Huku ukiitisha tunakuongezea bonus juu yake.
Kwa hivyo hii ni bonus.
Your wings just got bigger and better na Loto. Match your 6 lucky numbers na Loto na ushinde times 20,000 bet yako ndani ya hourly draws. Kila siku kuna guaranteed jinue bonus times 10,000 your bet. The more you stake, the more your bonus. Jipange pia ndani ya Loto na shopping vouchers worth 100,000 na a brand new probox kila wiki. Kila Wednesday and Saturday kuna up to 200 million ndani ya grand mega jackpot. Changamka, jinue na Loto. Ingia M-Pesa paybill 777-000. Account Look. Amount shilingi 50 hadi shilingi 2,000.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
Changamka, cheza Loto.
Are you an SME looking for a media partner? Look no more, as Lookuptv got you covered for all your visibility and marketing needs. We at Lookuptv understand your business needs and want to work with you on your marketing journey, giving you solutions that will take you to the next level. Call us today on 0707 572 358 or send an email to sales@lookuptv.co.ke and kickstart this amazing journey. Welcome to Lookuptv, your official SME media partner.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
Now, Interior and National Administration CS Professor Kithure Kindiki has stressed the need for a continuous crackdown on illicit arms and weapons held by civilians without proper licensing to address security threats in Kenya and the wider region. Speaking at the leadership transition event at the Regional Center on Small Arms and Light Weapons, Kindiki noted that insecurity fueled by the proliferation of small arms remains a major obstacle to Africa's development and role in the global economy. Ebi Kadenyi now files.
Thank you very much, Honor. Our chair of the council.
As cases on insecurity continue to rise, Interior CS Kithure Kindiki has vowed to end the trafficking of illicit light, saying they raid the weak point in the insecurity fight. Speaking in Monday during the handover ceremony of the Regional Center on Small Arms Executive Secretary, Kindiki said that this will make regional countries peaceful and secure.
We in this part of the world have a challenge to find ways of comprehensively and permanently eradicating illicit trafficking in small arms and light weapons, because I am persuaded that minus the instability that small arms and light weapons are causing in our region, Africa is the next frontier.
Kindiki noted that the illicit small arms have been a major cause of continued unrest in the region and has ended the needed economic development.
Illicit trafficking in small arms and light weapons continue to fuel conflict in many of our countries. It continues to undermine governance in many of our countries. It continues to impede socio-economic development in many of our countries.
CS Kindiki, who is the chairperson of the Rescue Council of Ministers, affirmed his full support to the new executive director, John Perr.
Conflict, violence, and instability, whose main fuel is small arms and light weapons in the hands of criminals and other unauthorized organizations and persons.
The CS also called for meaningful partnership with governors to end insecurity in different parts. Ebi Kadenyi, Lookuptv.
The Law Society of Kenya is now calling for speedy investigations into the fake fertilizer scandal. The society, led by its president, Faith Moni Odhiambo, now says it has given the ministry 7 days to set up a task force that will look into the matter and come up with a report. And as Maureen Bosire now files, the society has called for the compensation of farmers who purchased the fake fertilizer.
The Law Society of Kenya has raised concerns about the implementation of the National Fertilizer Subsidy Program, which has recently been scrutinized for acts of incompetency, allegation of fraud and corruption. Addressing the media at the LSK headquarters, the LSK President Faith Odhiambo said that the National Fertilizer Subsidy Program's mandate is to increase efficiency and productivity while reducing cost and delays.
We want a proper investigation done and an audit report tabled to members of the public. We need clear explanations and not sideshows on what has since happened. The period that we have given for the demand to the CS is a 7-day demand notice to review with all the necessary stakeholders, that we can be able to analyze some of the challenges that have arisen, including systematic severe issues within the Ministry of Agriculture and National Cereals and Produce Board, and highlighting on elaborate scheme to defraud farmers through the very program that was intended to bring them relief.
Odhiambo added that there are confirmed cases of fake fertilizer being sold to unsuspecting farmers, blaming the National Fertilizer Subsidy Program for not taking any action or even conducting inspections to curb the insufferable trend that has forced farmers to incur transaction costs and long queues.
Farmers have raised concerns over bureaucratic inefficiencies, corruption, and unprecedented delays in their attempts to access fertilizer.
LSK has called out Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi to address the issue and compensate farmers who received fake fertilizer, adding that failure to do so, they will petition Parliament to call for immediate removal of CS Linturi from office on grounds of gross misconduct and incompetency to hold office. LSK will seek compensation on behalf of the farmers against Linturi, NCPB, KEBS, and the responsible officials.
We therefore call out the Cabinet Secretary and demand he takes action to address this unprecedented horror show guised as the National Fertilizer Subsidy Program and offer reparations to affected farmers.
The Law Society of Kenya has given a 7-day notice to Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi to investigate the fake fertilizer saga, urging him to compensate farmers who received fake fertilizer. Maureen Bosire, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
The issue of fake fertilizer is an issue that continues to elicit mixed reactions. Remember, just a few days ago, the chief operating officer of Cal Chemicals, the company that was closed down by Mithika Linturi, the CS for Agriculture, implicated senior government officials in the office of the president, the officials from the Kenya Bureau of Standards, and of course the National Cereals and Produce Board in that particular scandal. It is a story that will also continue to follow up for you as millions of farmers continue to look at what will happen. And, we talk about that because one of the key agenda of the Kenya Kwanza administration is food security, and that can be achieved if only such issues can be dealt with accordingly and ensure that farmers get the right and quality, farm produce that they use to get the food that we put on the table across the country. Now, Makueni Governor Mutula Kilonzo has indicated that the county intends to fully implement the process to provide loans by phone after closing the gaps and loopholes of embezzlement in the Makueni Emergency Fund based on reports raised by the Auditor General that raised flows in the financial year ending June 2021, including unconfirmed transfer of workers and unaddressed irregular expenditures, as Stanley Ligaria now reports.
Now that I have an emergency committee headed by the Deputy Governor, you would have to draw minutes, why it is an emergency, a community concern, etc., etc. But
Governor Mutula has announced plans to provide loans to residents which will be fully regulated by telco giant Safaricom. This initiative aims to close loopholes of embezzlement. Governor Mutula made the statement while appearing before the County Public Investment Committee to address queries raised by Auditor Nancy Gadungu for the year ending June 2021.
I think there are some poor people who don't even have a phone. Because if you are then benefiting those who can borrow from Fuliza, maybe the patch is a bit too high. Why can't you go low for those who do not have access to this? There are very few people who can use the phone to borrow money.
The pump failure needed immediate financing as a precaution so as to save lives and preparations for the 7th County Devolution Conference that was supposed to be held. Gadungu explained the illegality of the action as the committee members felt that the water company in normal circumstances should operate independently, as they felt that the approval of the money was a way of absorbing and defrauding the county's funds.
He's really constructing an ECD class an emergency. Unless one had collapsed, and there must be evidence that a classroom collapsed so that you can now use the emergency funds. But anyway, that's a village of the governor.
Even if it collapses, the emergency would be used to rescue the students,
but not to reconstruct.
I think, Chair, I'm just saying, just to make sure everything is fine, it's good to direct that the auditor gets this particular bank statement on this 47 million. 330.
Governor Mutula has warned of instituting reforms in the respective sectors, alluding to have identified inefficiencies by the previous government, which he observed worked in darkness and in unclear manner after the auditor pointed out the lack of financial information and openness, including undisclosed loans for the financial year ending June 2021.
Since all the checks had already been issued and the amount credited in the cash book, a bank reconciliation statement showing the presented checks reconciled, laying the nil cash book balance and bank balance of 47 million is shown in the appendix. One is the requirement is that the financial statement should reflect a cash book balance.
The purchase of a water pumping unit and a generator set should have been provided for in its budget. This was contrary to Section 4 of the Makueni County Emergency Fund Act 2015.
The committee felt the empowerment money was lost as it has not yet been returned up to now. Hence the need to enact laws that are in line with the PFM Act as proposed under the new lending model.
The main thing the auditor should establish is whether money was stolen or not. If money was stolen, then the people who participated, then they should face the full force of the law.
I changed them. Okay. And I changed them because, Senator Professor, we had no visual of what they were doing financially. As we speak now, I can open my phone and check the amounts of money they are transacting on my iPad. But it's because of the misreporting of how they are spending their money and expenditure and the recommendations of this committee when I appeared before last year.
Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv.
Now, an attack during the night in a village in Kakamega County has left one person injured and another one dead. An unidentified gang attacked a home, killing the man of the home and leaving the woman with severe injuries, as Martin Masharia paints a picture of what transpired.
In this home, faces of sadness welcome you. The unimaginable has befallen the home of Catherine Matirani, with injuries on her faces, just a fraction of her pain. The loss of her husband sums it up. It is in Kiwanja Ndege, Shinyalu, Kakamega County. Catherine is battling serious injuries while mourning the tragic loss of her husband after an unidentified gang launched a vicious attack on them. Recounts the horrifying ordeal, stating that a group of approximately 10 individuals invaded their residence. They mercilessly attacked her husband while he was outside attending to a call of nature.
Alafu bwanangu bila alikuja kujisaidia nje. Mimi nilikuwa nimeenda jikoni. Aliniita tu kuja na kufa. Watu wamenishambulia na panga. Mimi niliona tu tochi kimulika. Watu wanamulika tochi. Ilikuwa tu tochi moja. Na watu wanatuma tu panga, wanakata yeye. Akatoka hapo, akakimbia mbio paka huko, akapita kwangu. Bila niliitanisha wezi, wakakuja wakanikata pia mimi na panga kwa macho. Nisiitanishe mwizi. Wakasema ni nyamaza kabisa ama wanimalize.
According to Matirani and fellow villagers, suspicions points to their relatives as potential instigators of the heinous assaults. Allegedly, the deceased have been embroiled in a dispute with these relatives for the felling of subsequent sale of several trees to a neighbor, all done without the involvement.
Nimekufa hajamaliza siku 14 na miti zilikatwa hapa zote kutoka hapa juu mpaka hapo chini kwa mto, na hakuna na bwanangu hajapokea chochote, hata mimi sikupokea chochote, na hizo kuni ziliuzu ati tuliipa lori moja. Vile wali assistant chief alisema tupeane 15,000. Bwanangu aliitikia akampea 15,000. Alipea huyo mtu 15,000.
Wakati niliweza kufuatilia hiyo maneno sana, nikasikia rafiki yangu mwenye anaitwa Alisha, tunamuita Al-Shabaab, amekatakatu, anatoka damu.
Body of the deceased has been transported to the Kakamega morgue where an autopsy will be conducted to ascertain the cause of death. Meanwhile, local law enforcement has initiated investigations into this barbaric incident with hopes of bringing the perpetrators to justice. Martin Masharia, Lookuptv.
Thank you very much, Martin Masharia. Now, yet again, on that note, we take a short breather. We'll be back with the last bit of this bulletin.
The University of Nairobi is a distinguished institution of higher learning dedicated to nurturing your intellectual curiosity and pushing the boundaries of knowledge. From state-of-the-art laboratories to modern libraries equipped with the latest resources, we provide you with the tools you need to succeed. Choose from a wide range of programs designed to prepare you for challenges of tomorrow's world. Whether in STEM, humanities, business, or the arts, our strong industry connections and career service support will help you translate your education into meaningful career opportunities upon graduation. Join a vibrant community of scholars from around the world, fostering cultural exchange, collaboration, and lifelong friendships. Book your space now for September intakes. Log in to https://www.uonbi.ac.ke for a wide range of courses to choose from. You can also contact +254 020 491 0000 or email us at pr@ounbi.ac.ke. Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution, or a university, and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke. Come, let us show you place spot to build your dream home in Baraka Garden, situated just 5.4 kilometers from Blue Post Junction along the Thika Gatura Road. Place finest with secure gated community, Margina Steamer Eco on-site, Usitans na stories za title deeds ziko ready. Plus, flexible payment plans and financing options. Pay 30% and clear the rest in installments. Get in touch, 20 site visit For more information, contact 0794 333 222 or 0722 668 700 or visit our website www.mahasibuhousing.co.ke. Experience the beauty of Baraka Gardens today.
Now, welcome back. Before we continue the bulletin, just sample some of your comments. And Kennedy says, good evening. I'm watching live from Likuyani in Kakamega County. James Kinyo says, the roads have become a first-class ticket to the morgue, he says. And he says, Watu Wakae Rada Njiani. Of course, that is in the wake of the many road accidents that we continue to witness across the country. Now, let's move forward now. President William Ruto on Monday urged investors to focus their investment on the African continent. President Ruto said investing in Africa's future is the best investment decision they could make now. Ruto was speaking during the Connected Africa Summit 2024 opening at the Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi.
We are here to mobilize our shared dreams and ambitions, visions and strategies in order to pave pathways to our common future, a future designed and built by Africans for Africa. Today, we come together inspired by the shared vision of a continent whose thriving economy anchors global prosperity, driven by the full participation of every citizen, and where, through the relentless pursuit of innovation, integration, and efficiency, our digital economy becomes the fundamental enabler of the aspirations of over 1 billion Africans. The primary ambition of this summit is that through determined collaboration and innovation, we will lay a sustained foundation of connectivity and empower the people of Africa to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals, as well as the AU's Agenda 2063.
Now, former presidential candidate Jimmy Wanjigi has castigated the government over what he termed as a continued oppression of Ndabibi residents in the ongoing row regarding the ownership of a 5,000-acre piece of land in Naivasha, Nakuru County. Wanjigi vowed that he will continue to advocate for the local residents' ownership rights to the expansive farm that has recently dropped in President William Ruto. Majid Hussein brings you this and more in our news wrap.
The Ndabibi land dispute has been going on for a while, and now the former presidential candidate Jimmy Wanjigi has castigated the government over continued oppression of Ndabibi residents. Wanjigi criticized deployment of hundreds of police officers allegedly to protect the land, faced multiple invasions, noting that the court have recently ordered them to vacate the land, pending hearing and determination of the ongoing case.
This land is owned by the Ndabibi people, so we're helping them in their court cases. That's why we've come for Thanksgiving. There is a court order that says the police should not be on that property. We don't know what they are doing there. We don't know what GSU is doing there.
Elsewhere, it is a huge blow to the family of Bungoma County Governor Kenneth Makelo Lusaka after his brother Noshikila Lusaka was involved in a bad accident on the road from Kamukuya to Chesamisi that led to his death. Speaking to journalists at his home in Mapera village in Kimilili constituency, Lusaka said that the accident had left him in shock.
Milia nimempoteza ndugu yangu Noah Sikhila Lusaka ambaye ananifuata kwa mgongo. Tumempoteza jana usiku mwendo wa saa 5 kutokana na ajali ya barabara katika barabara ya kutoka Chesamis Kamkuywa.
High prices and maintenance costs are the biggest hindrance to the country's transition from fuel to electric powered vehicles, as transport stakeholders put it. Boda, tuk-tuk and matatu operators told the e-mobility task force in Nakuru that they were concerned about the limited number of charging centers and the high prices for the charging of batteries.
System ya kuchaji ndiyo iko shida kwa sababu inakuwa ya kwamba hakuna pahali ya kuchajia. Second is spare parts. Spare parts hii gari ni 6 because hatujaambiwa tutatoa wapi spare parts.
Finally, with fire incidents on the rise in Maralal, Samburu County, residents can now reach a sigh of relief following the fire engines they received for the first time in ages. While flagging off the fire engine in Maralal municipality, Samburu County Governor Lati Lelelit said that they bought the fire engines from Isuzu company with 59 million that will finish the fire that has been rampant in Maralal town, adding that the next financial year will cater for 2 more fire engines, Samburu East and Samburu North.
Pesa yetu ya kaunti imetuletea mchezo ya vijana, pesa yetu ya kaunti imetuletea simamoto na imetrain vijana wetu wale ambao tumeona hapa wakikimbia, na tumai wametrainiwa mzuri.
Majid Hussein, Lookuptv.
It's time to get sporty, and Aguda Luanga and Loresha Atiagaga are the champions of the under 18 years category for both boys and girls respectively in the 2024 Kenya National Youth Chess Championship. Aguda registered 22 points to emerge the boys category winner, while Loresha garnered 22 points to win the girls category. The championship also features under 16, under 14, under 12, under 10 and 8 years for both boys and girls. The championship, which attracted over 5,000 players, was held at Mangu High School. Now, the African Independent Pentecostal Church of Africa has shifted to sports gears to engage youths who have failed in the fight against drug abuse. Youth patron in the new Embu Central Diocese, Paul Nderitu, has confirmed that the church also intends to use sports activities to identify and nurture talents among the youth. The church also has organized national games that will be held later, and players will be awarded after the tournament.
Tulikaa tukaonelea kwamba vijana wetu wengi wameweza kupotelea kwa mambo ya unywaji wa pombe na mambo ingine ambao imefanya ndoa nyingi ziweze kuharibika. So tukaona tukiweza kuleta hii michezo, wanarika wetu wataweza kukaa vizuri, na wale ambao mabwana zao wamepotelea kwa pombe, tunajua sasa manyumbani zetu kutakuwa nzuri, ndoa zitasimama kwa sababu wataacha pombe na waweze kurudi ili waweze kusimamisha familia.
Pia football nacheza kipa. Those are my favorite games. Wazi nanipeleka mbali kwa primary mpaka ma certificate nimejaza kwa nyumba za nationals. Nimeenda mahali kwingi. Sijui kama hata nitawahifikisha huko, nilikuwa mimi mwenyewe kujipeleka isipokuwa ile ya shule, ile games. Kwa hivyo ningependelea kama kungekuwa na pendekezo ama chance ya mimi kuwa nikitoka nje kucheza game kubwa, mimi mtu kujituma na mtu anapenda game. Shukrani.
Hii team siku ya leo ilipangwa na our diocese. The main thing was fight against drugs. Hiyo ndio our main. So we are grateful from kutoka huko kwa serikali, that is the fight they have been fighting. Kukuja kwa kanisa letu, that is the thing they have been fighting. So we as youth, tuliona hiyo ndio kitu inatutupa. And then our bishop, so it is well, they give us this day, we have embraced it, so far it's good. Wanarika wetu leo wamejiengage kwa michezo, and we hope it will continue so that we don't get lost.
Now, finally, the Busia County football team is the winner of this year's 9th edition of the Kenya Youth Inter-County Sports Association games held in Malindi, Kilifi County. Busia edged out Wajir County in a thrilling tie that saw them win 5-4 in post-match penalties after a 1-1 draw during regular time. In other games that took place, Makueni County won the men's volleyball tournament after beating Kilifi County 5-4, while Siaya County carried the day in the women's category after beating Makueni County 3-2. In this year's edition, only 20 counties participated in the various sporting sectors such as football, volleyball and beach games.
shirika ambalo linafanya kazi na wale wote wako na ulemavu wa akili. And the demonstration which is in front here ni
Well, that particular story wraps up our bulletin at this particular moment in time. But remember, like I said, we'll be following up the story of regarding the doctors' strike tomorrow, with KMPDUSG Daji Atela saying they will be engaging with the government tomorrow, but urging the government to soften their stance in regards to the issue of doctor interns. That has been, the main concern, as like they say, 96% of the issues surrounding this strike have been tackled. Now, as well, we'll be following up on the issue of the fake fertilizer, with the LSK threatening to, of course, take action and petition the National Assembly regarding the compensation of farmers who bought fake fertilizer. That will be all for you from me tonight. To the team behind the scenes, led by my producer, Brian Amwai, and Jeremy Como, James Kinyo, Alvin Thuo, Pauline, and of course, Nasha Kago on our digital desk. Thank you very much for making this happen, without forgetting those here in studio, led by Angel Lois, our sign language interpreter, Brighton, and everybody else. Do have yourself a wonderful evening, and like always, God bless.
The University of Nairobi is a distinguished institution of higher learning dedicated to nurturing your intellectual curiosity and pushing the boundaries of knowledge. From state-of-the-art laboratories to